Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Suzanne, and today I'm here with my daughter Fabiola. She's the second eldest and currently attending school at Harvard University. So today we want to ask her questions about college life, and let's go.
Hi guys, my name is Fabiola Belibi, and as my mom said, I'm a sophomore at Harvard, and yeah, I'm here to answer all the little nitty-gritty college questions. So
All right.
let's get into it.
Perfect. So the first question would be, how is the transition from high school to college?
It's very difficult, I think, especially because I'm so far from home. There's little things you don't think about, like food, like transporting things, and then just the overall culture shock of being in a different area than where you've grown up your whole life. So there's those things that you have to think about. I think also just the transition, like workload wise. High school, it's hard in its own right, but it's definitely not as challenging as college. And I think learning how to navigate your schedule, when you're studying, how long you're studying for, just those little things is definitely challenging your freshman fall. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but it's definitely also very fun at the same time because it's a whole new experience, like your first experience in adulthood. Really, you're on your own without your parents, so you have to make those kinds of decisions. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So how do you pick your classes? How do you make that choice?
Yeah, so I'm pre-med, so I have a particular path that I have to take, especially at Harvard. They have a really good system for pre-med students. They tell you which classes you should take, which classes are required, and then you kind of go step by step. I think if you don't know what you want to do yet, you should definitely just explore your freshman fall, your freshman spring, and just kind of pick classes that are interesting. I think in high school, there was a lot of classes that we just had to take. Mm-hmm. So college is your chance to explore. Maybe I like psych, maybe I like science, maybe I like math, and just kind of take different classes and figure out what your passion is. And then after your freshman year, that's when you really start planning that 4-year schedule of all the classes you're gonna take, because then you kind of have an idea of, okay, I want to do this. So then you kind of go that route, and then you're also getting an advisor. So if you're unsure, you have an advisor that helps you pick classes. So yeah, it's a good system. It's a really good system.
So how much support do you get at the school? Do you have tutoring? Do you have, tell us, what do you do?
So there's definitely a lot of support. I think Harvard is super big on support. Like on our P-sets, they encourage us to collab with other students and work with other students, which was definitely new because I feel like in high school it was all about, like integrity and doing your own work, and like you never wanted to like get help from other students, at least for me. So that was definitely new, but I think there's such a good system of tutoring. There's so many different tutoring groups. Mm-hmm. There's like peer tutors, which is like students your age. There are older tutors, so students in grad school that you can be tutored by. And there's also a lot of mental health support, which I feel like would surprise people because, it's a rigorous institution, but there is a huge plethora of mental health support, mental health systems. Even on my team, I run track at Harvard. We have a mental health, two people specifically dedicated to mental health.
So when you say mental health, are you talking about a sports psychologist, psychiatrist,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
teaching you how to study, or also helping with medical diagnosis such as depression, anxiety?
Yes. So I feel like in terms of on my team, they double as sports psychologists. but it can also just be just plain therapy. Like if you're going through something, if you're really stressed about school, just a place to kind of relieve those stressors, kind of go on rants if you need to. That's the sports side. In general, we have this thing called CAMS, and it's just student mental health services, so all of the above, therapy, and what I mentioned before, like the institution is rigorous. Kids are going to be kind of down at times, especially during finals period or things where like there's just so much going on. So there's a lot of support in place, both academically and mentally. So
All right. So you mentioned that you're a student athlete.
Yes.
What's your sport, and how do you manage your schedule on a daily basis?
Okay, yeah. So I run track. I'm a heptathlete. So very demanding, 7 events. But I don't know, I think being an athlete kind of makes it easier in a way to have like a good schedule, because it forces you to get things done at a certain time. Like if you have like 3 classes in the morning, you know that you're gonna have to wake up, get breakfast, go to class, get lunch, go to class. Like you have to be on it. So like, my typical schedule: wake up at 8, go to class, have lunch, go to my classes, and then go straight to practice. After that, I definitely have a chunk of time after practice where it's just homework, where I just have time to get things done so that I can kind of have things off my plate for the next day. But it's really just discipline, I think, is the key. I think students in college are very, just organization, discipline, and sticking to your schedule. And I think like you're fine. You get into the flow of things throughout the semester, and
Okay. So I hear a lot of students say that when you get to college, that's when life gets juicy. And all the social, we hear so many things. It's the time to get drunk. It's the time to get with boys or girls. And so what can you say about it?
I think it totally depends on your high school experience and where you grew up in high school, because some kids come to college and they're just like done partying because they did all that in high school. But my particular case, I was very focused in high school. I didn't really do much. So when I got to college, there's definitely so many opportunities to, like you said, party, go out, have fun. I think me, especially being an athlete and, knowing what my sport requires, I'm definitely not someone who dabbles in like, smoking, drinking, those kinds of things. I'm not saying that that's not okay to do. I personally think like everything is okay in moderation, explore and have your fun or whatever. But my personal experience in Harvard, we're in Boston, so it's a fun city. You can go and like do paddle boarding and fun things like that. So I don't necessarily think college is like party all the time. Of course there's parties, of course there's football games and fun things, but it's up to you to say no to this, yes to that, and just like remember to do everything in moderation. Do not overdo it. Don't be like chasing the sun every single weekend or like staying up and drinking and things like that, but like, enjoy with friends, have experiences, be safe, be careful. And that's my view on the whole college party scene. So yeah, that's my view on that. But college is definitely fun. And there's just, I don't know, I would just, like I said, in moderation. Don't overdo it, because it can definitely get out of hand sometimes. So
very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, so we heard from Fabiola about her college life a little bit. If you want to have more information, you can find some in the book I'm writing, which is talking about well-rounded student, academically, socially, athletically, just all around. Okay. So now talking about faith. What do you go to church? Are there groups, Christian groups at Harvard?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I do go to church, but I also, this year, I'm a part of this group called Christian Impact. I love it so much. My favorite club ever. And basically we meet once a week on Wednesdays. There's like food, and then we're just talking to each other, asking each other how our week has gone. And then we always have a speaker who comes in, and there's a theme of the week. Usually it's like about peace, shalom, how are we incorporating God into our college lives, because college is stressful, college can be a lot. How are we reminding ourselves of God's presence? So yeah, it's just a bunch of Christian students, and we all just come together, and it's a beautiful group. If anyone's at Harvard, join Christian Impact. But yeah. That's how I just stay grounded in my faith at school, and of course church, of course prayer, and other things like that.
Okay, very good. So what about social media? Because I see you on TikToking. How do you?
TikToking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you integrate that? How do you manage that?
Well, the way that I see my life, I just feel like anything is a content opportunity, or anything, like I just romanticize my life in a way, and that allows me to see a TikTok trend and be like, oh, I can put my spin on this, I can do this. Like I feel like I've always just been creatively oriented in, you know, video making and just content and things like that. Like that's something I'm personally passionate about. So I don't know, I make time for it. I think it helps other students who are in high school maybe be like, oh, like that's what college is like, or that's what Harvard is like, or I'm gonna kind of be like her and do what she's doing. So I love that aspect of it, because I do have kids come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, I saw you on TikTok, like I want to be like you. And that definitely motivates me a lot, because I feel like I'm just kind of like
a role model.
Yeah, a role model.
A good one.
Yes, a good one. So, yeah.
So if people want to follow you on TikTok, what's your handle?
It is fabi.belly, so fabi.beli. So like the first part of my first name, first part of my last name. It's very simple, but go follow. I make life content about my life. So,
thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It's just me and my daughter, the second one. I have 3, and Fabi was telling us about her college life at Harvard, and I hope you learned something. You can get my book. I have a link for you to pre-order or to order after this video has made its time on YouTube. But I thank you so much for your attention, and we talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.